Once you've used Greener to get a sense of the larger picture of problems in your host country, I would suggest diving into some of the more scholarly scientific literature. There are a number of ways you can do this, but for your project, I suggest a database called Environmental Sciences and Pollution Management. This database is much broader than the title suggests, and it's a great place to start anytime you're doing research on any kind of environmental topic. It has a lot of peer-reviewed studies. You can see right here under the search options that you can limit to peer-reviewed and scholarly journals only. I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to start searching all of the possibilities. But for example, for this project, you might be interested in finding out why air pollution is a big deal. So we might do just a quick keyword search on Beijing and air pollution. Okay, and you can see that all kinds of suggestions are coming up. Those might spark different keywords that you might want to use. I'm going to click search, and we'll see that we have quite a few results. Why these scholarly articles might be really helpful is because they've all gone through extensive work and peer review process, which means these authors all studied their topic, they wrote the article with the results of their experiment, and then they sent it out to peers to evaluate whether it was novel, important, and accurate. So these are really helpful ways to get pretty reputable and dependable sources. So these are ordered by relevance, so I may find some of these really useful right away. But if I want to target my search, I can also look on the right-hand side, and that will provide me with lots of different facets to narrow down. So I'm going to go into subject, and that will help me make sure that I'm picking articles that are mostly about the topic. So maybe I've decided that I'm really interested not just in air pollution in Beijing, but about particulate air pollution. So I can click that subject, and it will pull down my search result from about 7,000 to 993, which is still a lot, but it's a little bit better. And it's also more specific. So I might say this article, Observation and Comparison Analysis of Air Pollution in Beijing. That looks pretty interesting, pretty relevant. So I'm going to click on that. And again, I'll get to see the abstract to decide relatively quickly whether this is something that I want to actually read. If it is, I'm going to go up here to find it at CU, and I can request a copy if I want one. Another nice feature is you can do a quick search for more like this. You can see different subject headings. So I might see these and get ideas for other search terms. At the moment, I'm going to go back to the list. One thing that you also might want to consider as you're doing your search is a lot of environmental problems have changed over time. So we might want to use the slider to adjust from the 1980s up to maybe 2005 and update our search. So that's a smaller subset, and then we know everything that has been published is fairly recent and hopefully an accurate depiction of what's happening. So you can certainly search for your location and the issue. That's a great way to start figuring out whether your issue is important and why. You'll also want to look for solutions. So in this case, I'm going to change my search. I'm going to delete the search terms up here, and I'm going to now search for air pollution reduction and Beijing. I'm going to search for this specific city because I happen to know that a lot of work has been done on Beijing and air pollution reduction. You might search just for a solution to your problem, and then you're the one who applies it to your location. In this case, it worked out really well, and a lot of the synthesis about reduction in air pollution in Beijing has already been done by other scholars. But if I were doing something that was a little bit less studied, it would be, application would be something that I would have to do. So keep that in mind when you're doing your search. Just because you don't find solutions in your city doesn't mean there aren't solutions out there. Search just maybe for the solution in that case. So hopefully these two sources will help you find some really useful environmental resources for designing your bid for the Olympics. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Good luck on your research.